Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Sam, again today. This is the second video I'm doing today. I'm doing something a little different. I'm doing a PlayStation 4 collection update, which I've gotten more games since October, like when it was October of last year, which is when I last did like a video game collection video from PS4 games, and I've gotten so many more games. And anyways, I got about, I would say, around 60 PS4 games, but. Anyways, let's get into this collection video with the first one, and that is Until Dawn. I played this back in January. Great game. Loved every minute of it. It was very intense, very suspenseful. I only saved like 3 people at the end of this game, and I felt a little bad when I may replay it in the future. So maybe for Halloween next year I will. So, anyways, Dishonored 2, which is a game I actually really love. I love this game. I only played a little bit of the definitive edition. I have it on 360. I didn't play all the way through it, but it was a really fun game. And yeah, it was $20, so I wanted to get it. It was really good. I liked it. Like the next game up is a game that I'm gonna get a lot of hate for because a couple years ago I did a very different video on a Call of Duty rant I did of how I said I don't like Call of Duty. I think they're milking it at this point. In that game, surprisingly, this game actually got a lot of high praise from the community, and that was Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I heard the multiplayer had some problems here and there, but I got this because I was really curious, and I heard it was actually a pretty decent game. Not great, but I liked it. I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite there since I did a huge rant on the games like the Advanced Warfare before it came out. So let that sink in. Next game up is Shadow of Mordor Middle Earth, Game of the Year Edition. Love this game. I did not play the expansions yet, so that's why I bought this. And I really love Shadow of Mordor, so I want to play this soon. I got it back at the end of January, I would say. Sorry for that. Mortal Kombat X, great game. Loved it. It was one of my favorite fighting games of all time. The second combat pack is awesome. Get a lot of great fighters with it. Transformers Devastation, which is actually a really good brawler. I did not finish it, but the time I spent with it, it was a lot of fun. Very chaotic, had a lot of really good combat system. And it's made by Platinum Games, I think, the guys that made Bayonetta 2 and the first Bayonetta. So it was a really fun game. Very tough, though. I played it on, I think, normal, and it was still tough. Next game up is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. I got this for like $10 at Target, I think, the day after Black Friday, because I was working like that day, and I was like gonna go see Creed because it was out that weekend. It was like Thanksgiving weekend, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to Target. Maybe there's some stuff, and I found this for about, I would say, $10, and I have not played it. I took it off the plastic wrap to make sure the disc is in okay condition. So I heard it's a lot of fun. I heard the sequel's really good. I heard the sequel's like a lot better, which I don't know. This game up is Killzone Shadowfall, which I got this for about $20 at a Target like in January. The reason I got it was because it was like the first PS4, one of the big PS4 titles when it first came out. It was a huge, like really huge. Like I remember this was like the one game I think every PS owner had. I didn't have it yet, so I bought it, and I haven't even played it once. So God of War 3 Remastered, I got this for $20 again. This was actually, I waited for this to drop down in price because I was interested in getting it because I never played any of the God of War games, and I heard this was the best one, and I heard it is really good remastered. So I'm gonna play that most likely soon. So probably during the summer since it's gonna be quiet summer. Next game up was a game I got at Target. It was only, I think, around $30, and that is Sniper Elite 3, which is a really unique first-person shooter. I heard this is made by Rebellion, who made the Alien vs Predator game from a couple years ago. I heard this is actually a pretty decent game, so I want to give it a shot. Next game up is a game I really want to play. Really want to try out, and that is Diablo 3 Reaper Souls Edition, Ultimate Evil Edition. This game is like 2 years old, but I really want to play it. I've heard it's a lot of fun, so hopefully I get to it soon. Next game up is not the order. Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. Get it? Definitive. Dumb title. But this is actually a really good game. I got this for Christmas last year, and I had a lot of fun. I got this for myself. It was like $20 on sale. It was like $20. That's a good price for it. I played it. I didn't finish it though. I only played about a few hours of it. It was fun. Just I didn't have any time really to play it, so That was the sad thing. When you get so many games, you can't really play them all. Next game up is my only, I would say, collector's edition besides another game I have, and that is Life is Strange. I had a funny experience with this because I went to the store to I was at GameStop and I was gonna get the regular edition, the regular like $30 edition. Guess what happened? They were sold out of that version. It was like the $30 edition, and they had this for 40. And the guy was just like, "Hey, we just ran out of it. So do you just want the collector's edition?" So yeah, I just bought the collector's edition. It comes with a soundtrack and an art book, which I'm not too big of the fan of the art books, but I love that game. It's one of my favorite games, probably from last year, next to Mortal Kombat and Arkham Knight and stuff like that. Next game up was Order 1886. Played a few hours of it, and I'm gonna be honest here, I was really disappointed. Like, I didn't like any of the characters. Like, the gameplay was cool. I mean, it was beautiful looking. Like, it really pushed the PS4's hard drive. I mean, really pushed the PS4. I mean, it didn't crash on me, but it was just like, it was like so repetitive. I didn't like the world that it set up. I didn't have fun with it. That was the thing. Like, I did not have a good time with it. Then it was like 50 gigabytes. And I'm like, 50 gigs. That's like insane. Next up is like an expansion, but they released it to full disc, and that is the Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. This was actually a gutted copy from GameStop, and I bought this because I really wanted to play, because I really loved The Old Blood. I mean, not the Old Blood, the New Order that came out like back in 2014. I heard this was a really good expansion. So, speaking of which, here is Wolfenstein: The New Order, which is one of my favorite games of the past couple of years. I love this game. Very fun, very hectic. Like, it was a hard-ass game, I'll say that. It was pretty freaking hard. Even on normal, like the normal mode, it was hard. Alright, that's one of the best games, I admit, from 2014. 2014 was a really kind of a crappy year for gaming. Next up is another game from 2014 that was actually good, and surprisingly good, Alien Isolation. This is a very, very scary, very intense horror survival game. It is literally, I was like literally on the edge of my couch playing this game, and this is a fun-ass game. Very, very scary, really fun too, even though there's backtracking kit in the way. It's probably the best Alien game, probably, I would say, ever made. Next up is Evolve. I was actually like, I was so excited for this game when I first heard of it. It was made by the guys that worked for Left 4 Dead, and I love Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead's like one of my favorite games of all time. And this was I was so hoping this game would be like my game of the year in 2015. It came out. It was like, it had very little content. Hell, I prefer Titanfall more than this. Like, Titanfall had probably just as much content as this, but Titanfall was fun because it was like so fast-paced movie. Each match of this game felt so slow and tedious, and it was just like, I just did not have a good time. I played the online. It was fun. It's just, you need to be with friends, and I did not have any friends to play online with, so it was just not a great game. I have here's a game I actually have 2 copies of. Shadow Mortal. This was my first copy, and I love this game, and I wasn't even looking forward to it, because when I first heard of it back in, I think, 2013, before the year ended, I said that game looks like shit, and I was expecting it to be, but then I played it, and it was amazing. Like, this is probably the best Lord of the Rings game of all time, and it's one of my favorite games of all time too. I know it's gonna sound weird, but it was like, Monolith Studios, the guys that made Fear and Condemned, they made this. They nailed it. Like, I'm hoping there's a sequel. If there's not, I'm going to be sad. Next up is Metro Redux, which it comes with Last Light in 2033. Made about halfway through 2033 and about 0 Last Light. I made it halfway through 2033, and then I stopped because it was right around Christmas. I was getting more games around Christmas, but this is a really good game. Really good. 2033 is a really fun game. Really good. Very, very intense, though. I will say that. Mad Max, which is a really underrated open world game. No one talked about this when it first came out. Like, I don't think anybody talked about it. Like, literally, I think it came out the same day as MGS5, and that was already screwed. But this is a very, very fun open world game. It does get repetitive at times, but it's very intense and very, 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 very awesome. It's violent too. And I love the newest Mad Max movie. Actually, I watched the first few Mad Max movies, and they're actually really good. They still hold up. So, next game was The Last of Us. Love this game. One of my favorite games of all time. I remember, actually, when I first played this game, Like it was the weekend I think like it was a few days after my birthday. I bought this game and I started playing it, and I love this game. This is like one of my favorite games like of all time. Probably it's still holds up on PS4. It looks beautiful on PS4. Knack, which is a was the first PS4 game I got, and I still have it, which surprises me. This is a pretty decent game. Not perfect, but I liked it. Like it was not perfect, but it was one of the big PS4 launch titles of that year, next to a bunch of other games. Next up is a game I didn't really play much of, and that is Grand Theft Auto 5. I did play this, but the thing is, it was fun. It's just I didn't play too much of it, and it's in pretty damn good condition, as you can tell. I took it out of the plastic almost a month after I got it. It's fun. It's just I didn't have much time for it. Like my brother, I think, played it a little bit of it, but I didn't finish it. Next game was a game, probably one of my favorite fighting games of all time, Injustice: Gods Among Us. I love this game. I'm so hoping there's a sequel. Like, if you ever wanted to see like Batman and Superman actually fight in a video game, like besides Infinite Crisis, which was I heard was disappointing, this is the game for you because this game is awesome. Like, I love this fighting game, and I got it around Christmas, or I think New Year's Eve of 2014, before 2014 ended, to just play with a friend of mine for like for a party and just like hang out, and I ended up loving that game. I played it a lot. So next game up is a sealed copy of Infamous Second Son. I actually let my friend borrow my other copy of Infamous Second Son. I might actually sell that copy because I got a new copy right here. Yay! But this is a great game. Not as good as Infamous 2, but I still really enjoyed it. It was a very fun, very cool open world game with a lot of really fun. I actually played a lot of it. A lot of really fun powers. Next up is a game I may sell actually, and that is Far Cry Primal. Pretty disappointing game, especially for Far Cry. It was just like, it was so tedious, and it was just like it's so close to Far Cry 3 and 4. I'm just like, what's the point of this? And sorry about that, my ear was itching. And I was just like, I finished it. I cannot believe I finished it, but it was just so. But this was a boring game. Like, a lot of the characters didn't barely knew who anybody was before the end of the campaign. But yeah, disappointing game. I don't really recommend it. Far Cry 4, played a little bit of it. I want to get back to it. I actually have, I think, another copy of this game. So this is a really fun game. Not perfect, but it's really fun. I played a little bit of Far Cry 3, which is a great game. So yeah. Next up is Rainbow Six Siege. I'm already like 12 minutes in, which is a really fun tactical strategy first-person shooter, which is actually like, it's a really unique game. It's very hectic though. It's very challenging. Like, I played some of the like demo missions, and they're really tough. Like, they will not like hesitate like of taking you out like easily. But this is a really fun game. Didn't play any of the multiplayer, which I should get back into that. Next up is probably like my number 2 most disappointing game of all time, next to Batman Arkham Origins. Star Wars Battlefront, which this game doesn't really like. This is the deluxe edition, so which has stuff already on the disc, but this was a game that I think everyone was looking forward to, and it dropped in quality so much. I think this you can get the deluxe edition for like $50 now, and I think the other version you can get for $40. So this was just a really like disappointing game. Like, there wasn't much content to it. They were selling you like more of a game that was like wasn't even finished yet. I'm like, where's the rest of the game? Like, it was just a huge disappointment, and I'm officially done hoping for a good Star Wars game, another one at least, ever again, because that was just disappointing. Remember I said I had 2 copies of Far Cry 4? Far Cry 4, the complete edition with the season pass. I have not used any of this yet. I've not played it. I've not downloaded it. I'm going to download it probably later, so it might go into my pile of games to play. So, which I have a giant ass pile. I have a lot of games from Christmas I still haven't even played. Next game up is Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection, which I actually did finish Uncharted 3. I played about a good hour of Uncharted 1, which is a really good remastering. I heard Uncharted 2 looks really good, and Uncharted 3 I actually played all the way through because I never finished Uncharted 3 on PS3. But this is a really great trilogy of games. I highly recommend it if you haven't played any of the Uncharted games. Metal Gear Solid 5, really fun game. Only played a little bit of it. I want to get back into it. It was very I don't know. I was really busy in January. Like I couldn't play too many games. There were a lot of games I didn't finish. This is one of them. But this was a really fun game. Next up is a game I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that I did not finish. Bloodborne. I was terrible at it. Like I couldn't even get past the first boss. Like I know this is a strategy called Get Good, but I'm a scrub. I'm a Dark Souls scrub. A Bloodborne scrub, I mean. Which I might get Dark Souls 3. I don't know. But this is a lot of people love that game. I'm just like, it's good. Just not a Bloodborne guy, Dark Souls guy either. I don't know. I was like that's the closest thing to Bloodborne or Dark Souls I've ever played. Next up is game Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. Great game. Finished all of this. Really fun. Very unique because I love the Hong Kong was a really great setting in the game. It was very fun to play. So. Let me say, when GameStop guts their copies, it gets so annoying because there's like residue on there. Like, I actually switched out in other games like cover, like case, which I know that sounds weird, but yeah. Next game was Disney Infinity 3.0, which I've barely played any of. I actually still have the Portal and some of the figures. I have Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, somewhere on my shelf. I don't see. I do have him, so yeah. But this is I heard it was a lot of fun. I heard they're not making any more of these because it got canceled because the studio got shut down, which is sad. Next game up is Wolf Among Us. I almost forgot the name of it. Played about an hour of it. Didn't finish it, but it was pretty fun. We're getting close to the end of this, which yeah, let's get into it. Watch Dogs. Haven't played it yet. I heard it was really disappointing. I'm just curious. I want to check it out. Destiny, the Taken King Legendary Edition. I actually do have this on PS4, so I had it, and then I gave it back to my friend, but I got the Legendary Edition, which is why I gave the copy back to my friend. I actually enjoy Destiny. It's not perfect, but I need to get to the Taken King because I stopped playing it. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're a scrub, you don't like Destiny. Just different opinions. Next up is Shadow Warrior. I got this for about $17. Pretty fun. I have not played it, but I heard it's really cool, so I want to play it soon. Say that about a lot of games I don't play any soon. Anyways, Borderlands The Handsome Collection. I got this around on New Year's Day. I was actually at Target with a friend of mine. Me and him were walking through my mall because there was a Target right near. GameStop didn't have this anymore, so I bought it at Target. So I really want to play it. I heard it's really good. Next game up is Saints Row Gat Out of Hell and a Saints Row 4 Reelected, which is I've heard is a really great game. I've played a little bit of it. I need to get back into it. Got this game for $20. I know there's a complete Game of the Year edition, but I got the vanilla edition, and that is Dragon Age Inquisition. I really want to play this. I heard it's amazing, and I just don't have the time to play it. I got so many games, I don't have the time to play them. Helldivers, got this for $20. I heard it's a really fun action, like R-stick shooter, like twin stick shooter. So I'm gonna probably play that soon. I have a lot of games I need to play. Next game up is The Evil Within. Really fun game. Okay game. I was a little disappointed because I felt it was so hyped up. Like everyone's saying it was amazing. I'm like, it's average. I mean, it feels like Silent Hill and Resident Evil had a kid, and that's pretty much it. That's all I got from it. So yeah, it was okay. I'm not saying it was like atrocious. Like, ugh, I feel like that game. Ugh. It was. I'm not like that. If you like it, that's fine. It's just. I was not really a fan of it. Next up is a game I was not a fan of, Battlefield Hardline. A really generic game. I was just like, there's so many cool things you can do with first-person shooters. And with Battlefield series, I'm excited for Battlefield 1. That looks amazing. This, though, I'm like, where did they come up with this? And this is made by the guys that made Dead Space. Come on, guys. You can do better than this. I didn't even finish the campaign or play the multiplayer. I was just like, this is, like, boring as hell. Just throw it. I'll put it to the pile. Heard it was disappointing, but yeah. Battlefield 4 was actually a better game than I heard. I heard the multiplayer's improved for this. Like they fixed itself. I didn't get back to it because it was like I had so many games. I had to clear this off my PS4. I'll play it again. So the multiplayer at least I'll play. I won't play the campaign. Next game up is Batman Arkham Knight. Great game. A little Batmobile. Too much Batmobile. I still really enjoyed it though. Very fun, very good game, and I thought it was a really good ending to the Arkham series. I cannot wait for Return to Arkham, which is coming out, I think, before the end of 2016. Next game up is Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is probably the last Assassin's Creed game I think I'll enjoy until whatever Assassin's Creed game comes out. Because this was good. I did not think it was as good as Black Flag. I liked it. I liked the concept. I just thought there were some problems with it. I mean, the characters Jacob and Evie, they were cool, but it's like I felt like they were both kind of stereotyped. Like Evie was like the quiet, like more stealthy type, and I felt Jacob was more of a brute. But I liked it. I thought it wasn't as good as Black Flag, and it wasn't as bad as the next game, which I'm about to show, which was Assassin's Creed Unity. I hate this game. I'm gonna be honest here. This was such a disappointment compared to Black Flag, because Black Flag I played so much of. I think that was the one I played a lot of, and that was a great game. And I was like, it's gonna be so much better. Played it, it was just like nearly everything was like done wrong. The campaign was terrible. The story was uninteresting as hell, boring. Campaign missions were tedious. I was just like, this is like the game that I think killed my liking for Assassin's Creed a little. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not particularly good either. Next game was a good Assassin's Creed game, or great Assassin's Creed game, as I like to say, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which is a fun game. I love this game. It does get a little stale at times, and it does with the boat. It gets annoying. But this is a great open world game with a lot of great characters. Played a lot of it. Didn't play any of the multiplayer, but I really love the campaign. So, okay, last couple of games. A lot of these are like newer games that I'm actually trying to get back into. So, I actually want to play. I'm trying to finish them fast. And this game which is a game I'm loving, Uncharted 4. This is this collectible steelbook, which I'm like halfway through Uncharted 4 right now. I am loving it. It's an awesome game. It's great. I'm loving it. I really want to get back into it. I'm actually going to play it a little bit later when I'm done this video. But this is a really fun game. Played a lot of it. There's a pile of games I'm still playing. So next up is a game I got last night, but I did an unboxing for earlier today, which was Doom. Heard nothing but good things about it, and I really want to play it. I heard it's great. The campaign's a lot of fun. Next game up is Just Cause 3, which I have a very love-hate relationship with this game. I mean, I think it's fun, but I'm just like, technically wise, it's like I'm dealing with frame rate drops, and it crashed on me twice. I'm not kidding. It literally crashed on me twice when I was on the first mission. I was like grappling to this one building, and then black screen trouble. I'm like, okay, it's loading, and then error load. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And it crashed. Luckily, I played it again the other day. It did not happen, so thank the Lord that didn't happen. Next game up is a game I really want to get back into, and that game is The Division. I've heard this is a pretty fun game. Not perfect, but I haven't even played the multiplayer yet, so. The Dark Zone missions, which I heard are pretty cool. So, I want to get back into it, so that's the best way I can describe it. Next game up is a game that a lot of people hate and a lot of people like. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship thing, but that is Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. I got this for about $25 back in January. It was at my GameStop. It wasn't brand new or anything. It was used, which I don't buy my games used, but this was actually in pretty damn good shape, which made me happy. I mean, there is some residue from stickers left over, but I'm going to get back into that tonight. I actually started playing. It's really fun, very hectic, a very gory game. Next game up is the last game I have is a game I played a little bit of. I showed it, and I want to get back into it because I heard the expansion's really good, and that is Dying Light, which was a pretty fun game for when I played. The last mission I played was Packed with Rices, and then I ended up playing something else because Alien Isolation and Mortal Kombat X got in my way. They were like, oh, you're playing a game. Slap Dying Light, and I want to get back into it, so. Yeah, but that's it with my PS4 collection. Hope you guys enjoyed this update with my collection. I have a lot of games I still need to finish, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.